The ancient civilization of India, besides being one of the first civilizations in the world, was also one of the largest and most important civilizations in the Asian continent. Its origins date back to 3000 to 300 BC with the emergence of the Indus Valley culture. This culture developed in the southern part of the Asian continent, specifically between the Indus River and the Ganges River. These rivers were very important to this civilization, as they would flood the nearby lands during certain times of the year, making them very fertile for agriculture. Its early inhabitants were nomadic tribes who cultivated the land and had domesticated animals. However, over the centuries, they developed an urban culture and founded cities that grew progressively. In fact, their cities grew so much that it is believed they had around 50,000 inhabitants at their peak. So, this was a highly developed civilization that possibly reached the same level of development as the great civilizations of that time. Now, let's talk about their political organization. Initially, the Indus Valley culture was characterized by being organized into clans and led by a war chief. However, over time, their political organization would change, especially because this people would be invaded on several occasions. First, they were invaded by the Aryan tribes, then by the Persians, later the Greeks, the Muslim Mongols, and even the British Empire. But the most important invasion was carried out by the Aryan tribes, as they transformed the political organization of ancient India through their military power and religious beliefs. In this way, they created a monarchy, a system in which the king is the supreme ruler of the territory and passes on his position to his relatives. Although the king held the highest authority in the government, the priests and provincial governors also played a very important role in the politics of ancient India. However, the Aryan tribes not only transformed the political organization of ancient India but also its social organization. They did this by dividing the population through a caste system. Before we continue, let's remember what castes are. Castes are groups within society to which one belongs based on birth. For example, the son of a warrior belonged to the warrior caste, so he was obligated to become a warrior regardless of whether he wanted to or not. He could not become a priest or a merchant because castes were not allowed to mix with each other. This caste system made ancient Indian society very static since there was no social progress, and each caste had to preserve its position. The most powerful caste in this civilization was the Brahmins. They were the spiritual leaders, meaning the priests, but they also had political responsibilities as they served as judges. Below them were the Kshatriyas, the warrior caste. They were responsible for defending the territory and enforcing the decrees and mandates of the king. Then there were the Vaishyas, a caste composed of artisans and merchants. Next were the Shudras, the lowest caste, which consisted of peasants and workers who had to dedicate their lives to serving the other castes. Outside the caste system were the Pariahs, or untouchables. They couldn't even live in the cities and were subjected to all kinds of humiliations. In fact, they were treated worse than animals. Regarding the economic organization of this civilization, I must tell you that there were peasants who worked the land both to sustain themselves and to give a portion of the harvest to the upper castes. There were also forms of forced labor, although they did not establish a slave system like in Western civilizations. Their main economic activity was agriculture, and they harvested important crops in large quantities. Among these products were barley, cotton, wheat, and sesame. They also engaged in livestock farming and domesticated a variety of pack animals such as oxen, elephants, donkeys, camels, and buffaloes. Additionally, they developed pottery using materials such as copper, bronze, and tin. They also produced fired bricks, which were their main trade objects, especially with the peoples of Central Asia. It is worth noting that trade was very important to them because two of the most relevant trade routes of antiquity, the Silk Road and the Spice Route, passed through India. Although the culture of this civilization is very different from Western culture, it made numerous contributions to both Western and global culture. For example, India produced the first cotton garments, and many herbs and spices that are widely used today, such as basil, anise, curry, capers, and cinnamon originated from here. In the field of mathematics, they developed algebra and used zero as part of their number system. In medicine, they were the first to invent the sterilization method and used medicines to cure the sick. They even developed advanced medical techniques, being the first to perform surgeries and intestinal sutures. They also built impressive monuments and palaces, such as the Taj Mahal, which is considered one of the 7 wonders of the world today. Finally, it is important to mention that ancient India gave rise to religions such as Buddhism and Hinduism, which are currently 2 of the most practiced religions in the world. What do you consider the most important contribution that ancient Indian civilization has left us? Let me know your opinion in the comments below. If you liked the video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next journey through history.